Okay, be honest. Have you ever looked at your bank account on a random Tuesday and you're like, wait, I make decent money. So why does it feel like I'm one unexpected car repair away from financial collapse? Like you're not broke. You pay your bills. You even save sometimes. But somehow you're still doing that little mental math at the grocery store like, all right, if I buy the good coffee beans, that means I'm eating questionable pasta for dinner. Again. And here's the part that really messes with your head. You look around and it feels like everyone else is doing fine. People are taking trips, buying houses, getting new cars like they spawned for free. And you're sitting there thinking, am I missing a secret money rule? Is there like a cheat code everyone got except me? Look, here's the thing. Most people think wealth comes from one big move, the perfect investment. A high-paying job, crypto at the right time, starting a business. But when you actually study how wealth gets built for normal people, especially before age 40, it's way less glamorous and way more predictable. It's basically 6 moves. 6, not 60. And these moves don't just help, they create the foundation that makes everything else work. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about relevant financial topic. If you're someone who described the viewer's financial struggle, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. In this video, I'm walking you through the first 6 money moves that, when done in the right order, build what feels like 80% of your wealth before 40. And I'm going to do it with real math, real examples, and the psychology behind why people don't do these things, even when they know they should. Because information isn't the problem, behavior is the problem. Most people think wealth is about how much you make. And yes, income matters. But wealth is more about what you keep, what you automate, and what you never allow to quietly leak out of your life. Because if income was the main thing, doctors wouldn't be broke. Pro athletes wouldn't go bankrupt, and high earners wouldn't be stressed about money. What actually builds wealth is a system, a boring system. And boring is good because boring is repeatable. So let's go through the 6 moves, in order. Let's start with the uncomfortable one. The fastest way to permanently sabotage your wealth is not lattes, it's not avocado toast, it's housing and transportation. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics consumer expenditure data, in 2024, the average consumer unit spent about 4% on housing and 0% on transportation. That's roughly half of household spending in just those 2 categories. Here's what most people don't realize. If you upgrade your lifestyle in these 2 categories, you don't just spend more money. You lock in higher fixed costs that follow you every month, forever. A real example, math. Let's say you're 29 and you choose between option A, rent plus utilities equal to $1,800 month, option B, nicer place equal to $2,400 month. That's a $600 difference. $600 month equal to $7,200 year. Now, if that $7,200 year is invested instead at an average 8% return for 10 years, you're not just losing $72,000. You're losing the compound growth. That could easily become over $100,000 by the time you're 39. And that's just one lifestyle choice. 1. Psychology, why it's hard. Your brain is wired to optimize for identity, not math. A nicer apartment feels like, I'm doing well. A reliable used car feels like, I'm behind. So people overspend to protect their ego. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Wealth early on is mostly created by not inflating your life faster than your income. Action steps. This week. 1. Add up your housing plus car payment plus car insurance plus gas plus parking. 2. If it's crushing your cash flow, your saving problem is actually a fixed cost problem. 3. Your first wealth move is to create breathing room, because you can't invest what you don't have. Look, I love optimism as much as the next person, but if your financial plan is basically nothing bad is going to happen, that's not a plan, that's a vibe. An emergency fund does two things. One, it prevents debt. Two, it prevents panic decisions. And panic decisions are expensive, the real reason it builds wealth. This is where it gets really interesting. The emergency fund isn't just about emergencies. It's about psychological safety. When you don't have cash set aside, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. And when everything is a crisis, you start doing dumb money stuff. You swipe the credit card you borrow from retirement. You sell investments at the worst time. You avoid looking at your accounts entirely. Action steps. Start with $1,000 if you're drowning. Then build to 1 month of expenses. Then 3 months. Then 6% if your income is unstable. And yes, put it in a high-yield savings account. Not crypto, not stocks. Not my buddy's business opportunity. Cash is not for growth. Cash is for stability. Now, you might be thinking, Zach, I want to invest, but I'm not maxing out anything. I don't have that kind of money. Cool. You don't need to max anything out yet. You need to do the most efficient move available. Get the employer match. If your employer matches 50% up to 6%, and you don't contribute, you're declining free money. That is the financial version of walking past a table that says, free $3,000 if you sign your name, and being like, I'm good. Quick math example: salary, $70,000, you contribute 6% equal to $4,200 a year. Employer matches 50% equal to $2,100 a year. That's a guaranteed 50% return on your contribution, instantly. No stock market strategy beats that. Supporting data, reality check, Vanguard's reporting shows that even among retirement plan participants, balances are often not as high as people assume. For ages 35 to 44, Vanguard lists an average account balance of $91,281 and median $35,537 year-end 2024. Meaning, a lot of people are not consistently capturing and building this. Action steps: 1. Find the match formula, HR portal or benefits doc. 2. Set your contribution to at least the match threshold. 3. Automate it and never touch it again. Here's what most people don't realize. The wealthy don't decide to invest every month. They don't wake up and go, do I feel responsible today? They set up automatic investing, so their future self gets paid first. I call this your wealth floor, the minimum amount you invest no matter what. Even if it's $25 a week, even if it's $100 a month. Because the habit matters before the size. Why this works: psychology. You are fighting two enemies. Decision fatigue, lifestyle creep. Automation removes both. When investing is automatic, it stops being an emotional event and becomes a utility bill you pay to your future self. Action steps: if you have a 401k, increase contribution by 1% today. If you don't, open a Roth IRA or brokerage and set automatic weekly transfers. Keep it simple, broad index funds, and yes, you can start small. The goal is consistency. Okay, this is the part where I get a little frustrated because this is so avoidable. People love to talk about beating the market, but most people can't even match the market because they sabotage themselves. Dalbar's investor behavior research reported that in 2024, the average equity investor earned 54%, while the S&P 500 returned 25.02%, an 848 basis point gap because of timing mistakes and behavior. That's not a knowledge problem. That's a human brain problem. The psychological forces your brain reacts to: fear, selling after drops; greed, buying after runs; social proof, copying what others do; loss aversion, pain of loss, joy of gain. So you end up buying high and selling low, which is literally the opposite of what you want. The fix: you need rules that protect you from yourself, automatic contributions, long-term time horizon, simple portfolio rebalancing once or twice a year, and a written plan for downturns. Action steps. Write this sentence in your notes app: if the market drops 20%, I will not sell. I will continue buying. Because future, you will conveniently forget this the moment it happens. Most people track their bank balance. Wealthy people track net worth. Net worth is your scoreboard: assets, cash, investments, home equity, minus liabilities, credit cards, student loans, car loans, mortgage. And here's why this matters. When you track net worth, you stop thinking in paycheck cycles and start thinking in wealth cycles. The Federal Reserve's survey of consumer finances data shows that in 2022, the median net worth for households aged 35 to 44 was about $135. $6K mean about $549. $6K. Translation: the average is inflated by high wealth households. The typical household is much lower. So if you're sitting there at 33 thinking, I'm behind, you might be, but you also might be closer than you think, if you build the right system now. Action steps once per month. 1. Update net worth in a spreadsheet or app. 2. Track cash, investments, debts. 3. Celebrate progress even if it's small, because progress compounds. Let me paint a picture. 2 people, same income, same age, same city. Person A upgrades everything as soon as they can. New car, nice place. They deserve it. No match captured consistently. No emergency fund. Investing is random. Person B does the 6 moves. Keeps housing, plus car, reasonable builds, emergency fund, captures, match, automates investing, ignores, noise, tracks net worth monthly. 10 years later, person B isn't smarter. They're not even necessarily making more. They just didn't leak money, and they let time do the heavy lifting. That's wealth. It's not flashy. It's structured. Look, if you're under 40, you don't need a perfect plan. You need a simple plan you actually follow. Because the first phase of wealth building is not about exotic investments. It's about controlling fixed costs, building stability, capturing free money, automating your future, and not letting your emotions torch your results. So here's your challenge. Pick one of the 6 moves and do it today. Not tomorrow, today. And if you want, comment below which one are you starting with. I actually read those, and it helps other people feel like they're not doing this alone. Hit subscribe if you want more money videos that are practical, slightly aggressive toward bad financial habits, and designed to help you build a life where money stress isn't running the show. Because you deserve to be financially free. But you're going to have to build it on purpose.